Hey everyone, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio, and it's the Super Bowl edition. I'm going to tell you the truth about how the Rams won and why the Bengals lost. And I got it right this time. I told you it's going to be a close game, and I told you the Rams were going to win. I didn't know it. Like I said Burrow got the ball last. Rams could be in trouble, but it didn't. He did get the ball last, and it didn't quite work out, and I'll explain why. Let's start off with the first quarter. The Rams had a nice drive. Odell Beckham just overwhelmed Matthew Hilton on a touchdown pass. It was a thing of beauty. They were driving down the field, and I just liked how Stafford threw that ball, 17-yard touchdown pass. Bengals come back down. Jalen Ramsey, you're going to listen to a lot of fake news stories about Jalen Ramsey having a bad game. He had a good game. He got burned by Chase once and then once again in the fourth quarter. And I'll explain that touchdown, why that touchdown got burned in the opening of the second half. That I'm not putting that on his record. 7-3. The Rams hold. That was big. But then the Rams have another drive, and Beckham is cooking their secondary. Then they ended up scoring a touchdown to make it 13-3, dropped PAT. Very bad. Jai Heckler, I believe, dropped the PAT, and that could have cost the Rams. It was really on the verge of costing them the whole game. The Bengals do what the Bengals do. They make a sweet drive down the field, and then they have Joe Mixon. They were the team with the great trick play. Joe Mixon passed the ball to T. Higgins, touchdown 13-10. And Odell Beckham gets hurt. When Odell Beckham gets hurt, I don't know if it's a torn ACL or sprain, but he was done. I was thinking the Bengals are going to win this game. From that moment in the second quarter till close to the end of the game, the last drive, I felt like the Bengals were going to win the game the entire time. I felt like the Rams were going to really do a number on them early when Beckham was healthy. They would have probably pulled away a little bit on the Bengals if Beckham, the way Beckham was playing, and he was going to cook that secondary. I thought it was going to be a different story, but he got hurt, and that's part of the game. The Bengals come out. It's only 13-10, so Bengals get the ball. They come out with the first play of the game, and it's a 75-yard touchdown pass to T. Higgins. So on the surface, you're saying, oh, man, he torched Jalen Ramsey. He grabbed Jalen Ramsey's face mask for leverage, catches the ball, and scores. So that doesn't count. That was a blatant face mask that should have been called. That could have really been the biggest. It would have been a very controversial Super Bowl win for Cincinnati, because that would have been probably the difference in the game. And I'm thinking, I hope that's not the narrative. I don't want no bad. There's a bad call, missed call. I make sure the referee's reprimanded for missing that call, because you're right there running down the field. And then Matthew Stafford throws the ball, throws an interception. But, I mean, Skoranek is just terrible. He dropped the ball. And I thought the Bengals were going to go up 24-13. And then the Rams get the first of a huge sack to stop the Bengals. First of their 6 sacks in the second half. Because they had 1 sack in the first half. They had 6 sacks in the second half. And Joe Burrow got sacked, and it woke the Rams up. They kicked the field goal, 20-13 Bengals. But from there on out, the Ram defense got in and played lights out. They did a very good job of the run. The Bengals, listen, McVay was coaching a terrible game. He was trying to run, and the Bengals defensive front was outstanding on the run. Okay, can't run the ball, you got to throw the ball. I understand Beckham and Higbee are out, but you got to try to at least open it up a little, make the Bengals honest, and McVay didn't. He would just stubbornly try to run the ball. They were punting the ball time after time. But the Rams, they had to stop the Bengals, because the Bengals were 1 score away from that put-away touchdown. It was 20-16. The Rams do get a field goal. So in the fourth quarter, the Rams are down 4, and they could have tied the game. They were driving, and then McVay runs his idiotic play where Cooper Kupp tries to throw the ball to Stafford. That was a dumb idea. That was a dumb trick play. And then they had to settle for a field goal. So it's 2016 in the fourth quarter. This is where the game was very interesting. The Bengals get stopped. The Rams get stopped. They punt the ball back. The Bengals get stopped. 4th and 29. They're sacking Burrow. There's an unnecessary roughness penalty. The Rams are in business. They had the ball at the 35-yard line, 11:29 left. Okay. They just stupidly try to run the ball. And then it's just Matthew Stafford missed. He missed a couple times and threw one bad interception. So now the Bengals have the ball. It's 9:58. The Bengals are driving. They get a first down. Big 3rd and 2 play by Burrow to Chris Evans. 8:01 left. Burrow has the ball. They could have that put away touchdown. The Bengals are one drive away from a touchdown and their first championship. The whole time I'm thinking the Bengals are going to win this. I'm going to have to congratulate the Bengals and talk about Burrow and his legacy. They're going to do this. The Rams are kind of on their heels. They stopped the Bengals, but you can only stop them so many times. I'm figuring, okay, maybe they'll get things going. You got the receivers, you got Mixon, you got all this talent. So it's 3rd and 9 with 6 minutes, 23 seconds left. This is the ball game. Forget anything else you hear tomorrow, whether you hear this show tomorrow or tonight. When the pundits talk tomorrow about the plays and Stafford and Kupp and all that stuff, forget that. The biggest play of the game was the Tyler Boyd drop on 3rd and 9, where it was a slant pattern. He was going to make the first down. The Bengals were going to hold on to the ball, drive down the field. The Rams would have had to use their timeouts. And even if you drive down the field and use about 6 or 5 more minutes left, the Rams would use their timeouts. They might have had a minute and change. If you kick the field goal, you're up 7. Now the Rams got to drive for a tie, worst case scenario. But he drops it. It gives the Rams life. McVay is not dialing up any good plays after Beckham got hurt. And after Beckham got hurt, the Bengals changed their coverage. They started to play a little more closer. They started to be more braver. They started to blitz a little more. Eli Apple was in one-on-one coverage now. And the Bengals are a good team, solid defense, but Eli Apple I do not like. I don't think he's any good. And I always say I never trust a lot of players. Other than defensive linemen with the Bosas and Haywards and stuff, I don't trust players out of Ohio State. Receivers are pretty good, but cornerbacks, never. Linemen, never. And he's one of those guys that always gets burned at the wrong time or has the wrong dumb penalty. That's who Eli Apple is. So now the Rams have the ball with 6:13 left and haven't done nothing. They haven't run any good plays. They're just running the ball up the middle, getting stopped. The Bengals front four was out better. They were as good as the Rams did. The Rams turned it up another notch. Miller and Donald turned it up a high notch. Now the Rams have an opportunity to put the game away. Not put the game away, take the lead. They get going a little bit. Now they're just going to throw the ball. They're just like, bump it. I'm throwing the ball at Cooper Kupp where he's double cover 9. He's making play after play after play down the field, just giving his team a chance, showing what a real MVP looks like. Now, 4th and 1, they give the ball to Cooper Kupp, which was smart because he has a nose for that first down. He was going to find that first down. As good as the Bengals defense is on that reverse, Cooper Kupp would have did anything to get that first down, and he got 7 yards. Now the Rams can settle down. Now they're driving. 3rd and 2. Bryson Hopkins made some big plays too. That backup, the 3rd-string tight end for 6 yards, and then another big Cooper Kupp slant pattern in the 4th quarter. A 22-yard gain down the middle, and now they're in the red zone. And finally, Cam Akers gets a big 8-yard run to get him by the goal line. And then after a couple of the one penalty by the linebacker, okay, I understand. So it's 1st and goal, but then Eli Apple with a stupid penalty because Eli Apple does what he does. Now it's 1st and goal, okay? It's 1st and goal with a minute 29 left, and you have man for man Eli Apple and Cooper Kupp on the outside. You're kidding me, right? That was a stupid mistake by the Bengals, number one, in the crunch time. I'm doubling. I'll put Jefferson and Eli Apple. They're about Jefferson's okay, and maybe you get away with that. But yeah, Eli Apple, your worst corner, because Awuzie is better than he is. The MVP of the Super Bowl, and really you could make a case the MVP of the entire league, even as much as I love Rodgers, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp does this quick little shimmy toward the middle of the field. Then he fades back toward the end zone. It was a beautiful pass touchdown. All right, 125 left, 2 timeouts. Joe Burrow has the ball to 25. I still think, man, Joe Burrow at worst will drive all the way down the field to get a field goal. After the other time that Jalen Ramsey got burned, they have the ball at the 42. Now they're driving. And Samaje Perine gets tackled by Arron Donald. It was Samaje Perine's going to get the first down. Arron Donald makes one of the most amazing tackles. So that's 43 seconds left, 4th down. And stupid mistake number 2. They single block Arron Donald, who gets Arron Donald. And I'm going to tell you something. Before this last drive, Joe Burrow and their offense trotting on the field, Arron Donald sprinted on the field. He's like, I'm getting this ring. I want this ring badly. And the great ones who want to win, who are winning their first title, will do whatever they take, and they're almost possessed. And he got around that lineman and grabbed Burrow, and Burrow was able to get the ball off, but he was under duress of Samaje Perine. It didn't look like he could have dove for it. You got to try to get that ball. When Burrow sells out almost on the ground, being sacked by Arron Donald, and he's able to throw the ball, you got to figure out that give me a better effort than that. And then the ball falls on the ground. The Rams are the Super Bowl champs, and they win. It was a combination of luck because they didn't play that good on offense, and they were losing their players, and they were lucky Tyler Boyd dropped the ball. They were lucky to get away with a bad snap that cost them a point and an extra point. And they were lucky Burrow didn't have time to throw the ball down the field, but it's also grit and determination. You look at the Tampa Bay game when they were punched in the face after taking the lead, they're fumbling all over the place, making mistakes. The game gets tied. You're figuring Brady going to go to overtime and beat him. Matthew Stafford makes the big time pass, single coverage on Kupp. Another Ohio State cornerback, Wingfield, gets burned. Then the next game against the 49ers down 17-7, and their offenses just looks scatterbrained. And then they make enough plays, drive in for a touchdown, get a field goal, get another game-time field goal, go back down, get another field goal, and then Arron Donald and his boys make the plays on Garoppolo. 3-point lead. Garoppolo has the ball. Arron Donald's defense is like, you're not driving down to even get a field goal. Same thing happened in the Cincinnati game. You lose Odell Beckham, who was playing almost as good as Kupp. Not quite, but very good. So now the offense is limited. Higbee, your other safety valve, is not there. Your backup tight end Blanton is hurt, but your third string tight end Hopkins play solid. Skoranek can't catch a lick. He cost you 3 points with his buffoonery. And then Jefferson, on the interception that Bates caught, Bates won the ball more than Jefferson. Jefferson didn't compete. There was another play down the field. Jefferson didn't compete, where Apple actually did a good job. And you still figured out a way to win. It was just destiny. It was meant for McVay, who didn't coach the best offensive game, but he did win. Good for him. He's young. With Stafford there, I don't know if they're going to go back next year, but Stafford has another 5 or 6 years in him if he's healthy. Arron Donald's got a couple more years. So you want to try to squeeze one more title out of this group. McVay could do that, and he's going to get better. So if he gets his 3rd Super Bowl, he'll coach a whole lot more better, especially if the weapons are there. But he did win. Good for him. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. His legacy's growing. He's still young. So it's good for the Rams. And now the Lakers won, the Dodgers won, and the Rams won. And they're talking about, well, it's still a Dodger, Laker, USC town. Okay. But the Rams, the ratings went up as far as the Rams playing in LA and the regular season games, the ratings up. There's a fan base that's kind of growing because I hear the whose house and the Ram fans are going, our house. So they're, they've just got there for a few years, but their fan base is going to grow because they have stars, they have a championship, they have that new SoFi Stadium. Celebrities are coming to the game. Next year, more celebrities are coming to the game like the Lakers and Dodgers and USC. And if they could keep winning and maybe make Vegas another title, you got a nice little base there. So good for the fans of LA. Their teams are on top again. Now, as far as the Bengals are concerned, if they could keep Joe Burrow healthy, because he hurt his knee again because the offensive line was putrid, he did a good job of just getting rid of the ball quickly in the first half. Second half, the Ram defense caught up to him. And then it just blew away their offensive line. They have to improve on that. They got to get another cornerback. Eli Apple's going to cost them. I'm picking on him, but he just doesn't do it for me. Those type of cornerbacks I'm not into. I like Awuzie. I like Matthew Hilton and Bates and the rest of those dudes are nice. Fredrickson, a nice defensive line too. But when you have a Super Bowl in your grasp and you're right there to win it and you don't, coming back next year is hard. Look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs got blown out, but coming back after the Super Bowl loss is just – the Bills are different. They went back to back and lost but kept coming. Teams are not built like that yet. Free agency, and then eventually these star players want to get paid. I think Joe Burrow, as long as he's healthy, they'll get another opportunity down the line. I don't think it'll be next year. I think they're a year ahead of schedule. I think there's still some development. Zach Taylor made a couple of mistakes. He was almost as conservative as McVay, but he was a little better coach. He coached a little better game and didn't win. But it looked, for all intents and purposes, see Cincinnati was going to win Super Bowl. They didn't. And that's a tough pill to swallow. But if you're Tyler Boyd, I understand a linebacker might feel bad because he had the whole cup. Cup had a touchdown. Eli Apple ain't no good. But Tyler Boyd hadn't dropped a pass the whole season and drops the biggest pass of his career. And that, unfortunately, he's going to be thinking about that. If I'd have caught that pass, got the first down, we're champs. And because he's a really good player, he'd be like, I cost my team a ring. And that was the costliest play of the game. That's just the way it is. But congrats to the Rams. And it was a good Super Bowl. This year was very competitive with the Bills, who really threw the game away against the Chiefs. Great game. The Chiefs and Bengals come back. Bengals beating the Titans when the Titans, I thought they were going to the Super Bowl, but Tannehill imploded. Rams, 49ers, Rams, Tampa, Niners, Green Bay, Dallas, 49ers. Garofalo made that game close. But it was a great NFL playoffs, and that's good. That gives the NFL momentum going forward. They have a lot of off-the-field issues they need to tighten up on. We'll see going forward next year.